Work on this project started 4 years ago. I was getting frustrated because I wasn't able to create the sound that was in my head. I had to do it myself. I took a production course. I learned how to use the software, and I worked every day.
Anushka has been going on it, working on it, day in and day out, banging her head, very passionate about the whole thing. So serious, I've never ever seen her in my life.
In this case, she filled the entire slot, like of producing, composing, of singing.
We bounced many ideas. At some point, we reached a place where it was just like an idea that came together, and we decided to talk about death.
Being mildly anglicized, to say the least, obviously there were many Western ideas that went ahead, but we're culturally such a powerful nation. It just seemed logical to kind of set death in this Indian context, which is highly scientific and highly progressive, actually.
Yeah, is that don't be afraid of anything, don't be afraid of death, because energy never dies. It's always evolving, always transforming, always moving, and that's what we are talking about with this video. Navzar is amazing. He's one of the best directors I know. He's one of my closest friends.
You're a craftsman and you've been given a sharp sword, so she's an asset to work with.
This video is so spiritual, emotional, so heart-wrenching. I don't think I would have been able to do it with anyone else except for him and Walkabout Films.
The team just naturally came together. It wasn't even a real struggle except for juggling a few dates around. Everyone was like, the moment they heard like the first few bits of the narration, they were like, we had Vikash Nolaka, who's a boss.
And he's brilliant. He's quick, he's calm, he's so zen. Preeti Sheel is one of the most amazing artists, makeup artists I've seen coming out of this country. I mean, she took the ideas that we had and just elevated them to another level.
You don't get to see this kind of stuff happening in India. Getting a music video like this, where I get to do major transformations,
I called my best friend, Mihir, because I wanted him and his partner Mandira to do the production design for this video.
I didn't really want to do this video. I didn't have time to do this video. What made me do this video was Anushka, who had emotionally blackmailed me.
And I cried on the phone, and I said, I don't care. I mean, we're so close to shooting and we don't have a production designer who really gets what we're trying to do. And he showed up and he worked his ass off.
Try to crack what these spaces look like visually has been a great challenge, but it's been so exciting only because of the way they had sort of written it out.
We've done some really cool shit with makeup and the kind of shots we've taken. I've had a lot of fun doing it.
Something that I think most of us haven't seen before. I think we're taking a step forward in terms of creativity.
Every single person was doing the job of 2 or 3 other people.
Are you stressed?
I'm done. No,
Are you stressed?
not at all.
Just tell us one thing, no? Why are you doing this?
Because I love Anushka and I love Navzar.
We were casting for the video. I knew that I didn't want some strangers, some hired actors throwing my ashes into the water. It had to be the people that I loved and the people that loved me.
That was a very mixed up emotion because it is not exactly a done thing. It's something to do with a death and your own child, and that was very shattering. In fact, her mother was very upset.
My dad was amazing. He was on board from the start. My brother, on the other hand,
Having to enact putting your sister's ashes into the sea. It's not a comfortable space to be in.
We might really emotionally blackmail.
Shikhar, how do you feel about this video? Like, what your part in it? I had to work on him for 2 months.
I got around to it. When I held the matka and I was throwing the matka, that's the only time when I was like, shit, dude. This is not a good scene.
It's a very meaningful video. And she also felt very comfortable that, okay, my family is with me.
Except for the first look, every other look has taken me almost 3 to 4 hours to get into, and the same amount of time to get out of.
First look was when she's on the funeral pyre. So that look was basically when a person dies and the blood is completely cleared out of the body.
We really worked hard on the underwater sequence to make it look the way it is.
Snakes, when they shed out their skin,
We applied latex to the whole body.
we did zillion experiments in the lab.
He's coming to the surface.
The paint has to be insoluble in water.
I am not a swimmer. This holding your breath underwater, allowing yourself to sink, it was really tough for me. Navzar and I actually were practicing in the water. We tried all the different jumps. How does it look if I land in the water like this? If I fall, if I roll into the water, if I jump into the water. But nothing really prepared me for this final shoot. Freezing cold. My hands were shivering, my body was shivering.
Why don't you warm up first, Ramsey?
No, but then getting back in the water is very hard.
It was very cold, but I loved it.
Very cool.
Anushka was fantastic. She did her part really well.
And then we arrived to our fourth look. That is her getting transformed into the full tree.
I feel more comfortable with the idea of death. It makes me believe that I want to live every moment of my life fully, and when death arrives, it'll just be a transformation.
I think Nuka is an incredible project because we're looking at a music producer, we're looking at a singer, we're looking at an editor, a filmmaker, a writer, and more than anything is that she's hardcore. And I think if you're in the arts, if you're not hardcore, then I don't know what you are.